Hello Sagittarius, welcome back to my channel. I am Mariana and I will do the vibes inside for you today. So I have pre-shuffled already the cards for you, Sagittarius, and laid them out and opened them. So I do have a story here for you, ready. I'm trying to do my readings a little bit shorter for you and my own convenience, and we will see what you like, if you like them in that way. So overall energy for you, Sagittarius, I have the Emperor. So the Emperor is, well, the Emperor is the CEO, the top boss, you could say, the top leader, the one in charge. For some reason, I feel like I want to go further. I want to go to say that, of course, this can be a boss in your life, right? Of course, it could be a boss in your life, or someone who has definitely big power or influence in your life, someone you regard as the Emperor. You look at them as the Emperor. We have the lion here, again symbolizing power and status, and the ruler, the king of the animals, the one that kind of overlooks everything and, you know, like gives the thumbs up and down here on something. I want to go as far as saying as this could even be your connection with God or any kind of deity that you see like this. We could say even the idea of the creator, that there is a higher force of creation, a god or goddess of creation that kind of like overlooks everything, you know, like a parent does the child. That something or someone is in charge, and that you are a bit like the child, right? That the child is a creation of the god and goddess, but not really in charge yourself. Underlying energy here, I have the Three of Earth, the Three of Pentacles. The Three of Pentacles is usually a card of cooperation, cooperating, working with. It could be even, as I said, the Emperor could be a boss here. It could be a new job that you are wondering if you should enter into here. The Three of Pentacles is as underlined, it's like it's a move, it's a driver in you that kind of wants to drive something forward to connect with this one. It can be your own sense of, let's say, your own leadership, that you want to be the emperor of your own life. You want to be the one in charge. You want to be the CEO, the one who makes the deals, or even, I want to say, the idea of sovereignty, that you stand on your own sovereign pillar, right? That you have leadership over your own life, and that is kind of not to debate. It's not up for change or something. But it could also be that you want to cooperate with a person here, someone here, Aries energy here, that either has some kind of power status over you, or that's what they're showing, right? But because this is a driving force inwardly, and it is an internal thing in this case, because I do have this card at the bottom here, and it says internal experience. So, or sorry, internal explorer, it says here. So the internal explorer is this one, right? That kind of drives something forward to cooperate with something here. Want some kind of cooperation or connection, or yeah. So there is a willingness here that kind of comes from within you, that is driving a process forward, whether you want it or not. It can be a process. Maybe you have not come to this yet, right? But a realization that you want to work with something here. It can be your own leadership, right? That you're exploring your own leadership, but it can also be someone it could be someone you want to learn from, right? It is upright here. The Emperor upright is a very successful person usually. They know something about, I want to say, because the clarifier for this Emperor here is man holding a coin. So this is definitely someone who knows something about money, perhaps. Or something about, well, pentacles are earthy, right? It talks about earthly matters, tangible stuff. So they hold some kind of, it's almost like, look what I have, come to me, right? Like they have this, they are in charge of the money perhaps here. They know something about money. We could even say that, you could say maybe this is a person that works with finances, or they work with something that potentially can build to something more. Earth matters is always something that can be seen, touched, witnessed by others. So they could have great material success, rich perhaps, like they are abundant, I want to say here. And I was a bit curious about this, because what does it mean? He holds a coin here. You know, like the carrot, like, I have this for you, right? So will you come and work with me here, right? This could also represent like a big corporation, you know, like a very big firm, very large, big, and it because it's big, it has influence. An emperor has big influence here. So maybe it's someone or something that has big influence on your money. They pay your salary maybe here. Or somehow they are in charge of deciding value. Like the emperor here could be someone who, because they sit with the coin here, they could be someone who represents value. Meaning that they can decide whether you would be good enough for a job or not. So this could talk about you applying for some kind of job, knowing that they are in charge, right? They are in charge, and they select whom they want to give the coin to. So if they have several applicants for a job, they will pick the one that seems best, right? And then they will pay the money. Because as underlying energy for this one, I have contract. So it seems a little bit like there is a contract somehow here. Again, it could be a job. As I said, maybe a big firm. Maybe it's a promotion, right? That you are promoted. The emperor could be that someone sees your value and wants to reward you, give you a promotion. It could be because you decide to work with them, right? That you decide to, okay, I'm doing this. I'm saying yes to whatever corporation this is. As I said, it could be God, being in service, in that kind of service, and stepping into that without knowing exactly where it takes you, but you're doing it anyway. To clarify the 3 of Earth here, I get this card. The 14 card breaks down to a 5, which talks about change. It says solutions here. And it also says success that comes from objective compromise. So the 3 of Earth about cooperation. So a willingness to, I don't know, you could say be forthcoming, open, deciding to see what happens, objective compromise, self-control and patience, forgiving and healing energy. So it's a card that talks about a success after some kind of compromise. I want to say this to me can talk a little bit about like an ego death, that you compromise about something that potentially maybe you weren't that interested in it in the first place. It is purple here, so it speaks to your crown chakra. And I have had several cards jump out during the pre-shuffle. Let's see if I can remember. There was a 6 of fire, which talks about success, victory, overcoming something difficult, like getting back alive from the war, right? Then there was an Ace of fire, which then talks about a new flame, like you have used an energy on something and you got yourself out whole, and then kind of using energy now on something else. Then I had the 10 of air, like wanting to drop to the floor, meaning that 10 of air is an end and completion of like tremendous I want to say controlling thoughts that keep you down, that keep you backstabbed and down, so that you never rise up and become your own phoenix, right? But it fell kind of to the floor, so it's like it's kind of done, right? You can put that to rest, you can put that down. What else did I have? I had let me see if I get back to that. There was one more. Anyway, but these I had them fly out during the pre-shuffle, and it tells me that it's like you've been through something, and the 6 of fire is a victory card. So, and it says here success, right? Success that comes from objective compromise, self-control and patience, forgiving and healing energy. So you have definitely like worked your way through something here and come out on the other side, I want to say. And the 3 of earth wanting to cooperate here with something quite big. I drew a card on this one and it says flow, and that kind of, it was a strange card, I think. The idea of flow to me is well, I can look it up, of course, if I can find it. But the idea of flow would be something like going with the flow. Just release any restraint. And that's why I feel like it's a bit like that this is God. That somehow you have a contract here. A contract that a rewarding contract. I feel like, again, the success comes from a compromise. An ego death, I feel like, that allows you to enter into this. But the ego death to me represents like a surrender. So surrendering means that if you need to flow with this Emperor here, to flow means that you kind of just, you lay you lay on this cloud and you just flow along, right? Without any kind of restraint or defenses or anything, you know, like you would kind of open and just trust and flow with whatever comes. So that means you need to trust, you need to like lay your armor down, you need to just surrender into the experience of what comes next. And somehow I feel like, and with this card as at the bottom here, Internal Explorer, it definitely tells me that there's something to be figured out internally, but working with an energy that is like, this is the top card, right? You can't get any higher or bigger, or you can't get any higher. It's like that. It's not really up for debate. And I want to say it's also like, this is an energy that can be unchallenged, or this is an energy that can you can win over this one. Nobody can. Like it's like they are like top class, right? There's a lot of power there, a lot of like really they have a lot of power, but they also, like, the idea of flow is very, like, the Emperor and flow energy, I would say, is like an invitation to just relax, right? Relax. Like, I got you. You know, like, I got your back, or I've got you. Just flow and trust, right? I will, he holds a coin here, I will take care of you, right? I will take care of you. He is the one, because he also chooses value, he will say, I will take care of you, because you have proven worthy, right? Like, you have proven worthy here. Whatever you have done here, what kind of compromise you've made, what kind of ego death you have gone through. Let me see the bottom of the deck for this one, because that's interesting. The bottom of the deck for this one, I get the Ace of Raphael. This is one of the cards that got destroyed the other day. If you've seen the other readings, all the way back to Virgo, this one got a really big hit. It's like the Ace of Cups here. Positive new emotions, experience fulfilling romantic relationship, deep and lasting spiritual insights. This got almost destroyed in the Virgo reading. And to kind of overcome that, and that's what the struggle of overcoming some of this is debated in the Libra and the Scorpio reading. So if you want to know about that, you can go back and look at that. But the point is that this is something that got a real hit. And to overcome a hit like that, to somehow figure out how to overcome that, trust your intuition on something here. And learning about self-control and patience and forgiving and healing, and eventually compromising with the idea of, I don't know, maybe as I said, we are talking about God energy here, or Jesus within, right? That you trust something within you that is kind of guiding you to go with the flow of this Emperor here and trust it, like go with it here. Okay, so this is interesting. When I look at this card, it changes shape. So I'm just going to try to show you what I see, because you see a woman here, right? But what I see, the further I take this card away, I see like this is the entire face of something, and these two marks here are eyes and a nose, and this is kind of something like the body. So this is a head. All of this is a head and a little ear here and a little ear over here. And when I compare this with the lion here, somehow I feel like there's a sense of similarity to it. This is totally out of order. Like it doesn't look like the Emperor here, but somehow I get the feeling that the cooperation here comes from wanting to be a bit like this one, learning perhaps from this one. I don't know if it's like idolizing or looking up to, or I feel more like wanting to learn from. Wanting to learn from, or be part of, or you know, but identifying a little bit more like this one. I get a bit like a role model or something, that you looking up to that Emperor somehow. It could be someone you know who is very good at flowing. Like they have a very relaxed life, that just relax and take life how it comes. Don't worry, right? You will be taken care of, but that can also be what they say, right? They come in with this message: flow with me and I will take care of you, because I have decided your value, right? I've decided your value here. I see your value, or I see your beauty, I see your light, I see your ability to heal also here. I see your ability to follow your intuition, or a guidance, an intuitive guidance. I see you, that you can, or you can hear me, right? That you can actually hear me, right? You can somehow, I don't know, connect with me here. But it's a very it requires still for you to be an internal explorer here. And I wanted to read from the book about the external explorer here. And look at this. I can't make this up, right? Look at the first word here. Flow state. So, flow state. Yeah. So there is an invitation to kind of work more with the idea of you know, like not planning, not organizing, not just relax, right? Just explore that, explore the flow. Sorry, explore the flow state, accessing infinite information by going within, wisdom from the collective consciousness, theta waves, channeling, breaking free from limited intellect. And that's what I feel like with the Ten of Swords card that kind of wanted to fall to on the floor, that you're breaking free from anything that potentially could limit your mind here. Creative boldness, being guided by the divine spark. You already hold the keys. And that's another thing. I feel like this card is also like he shows a pentacle, but that pentacle, I felt like it could be a key. Again, because you have proven, I don't know why I get this, because you have proven that you can hear him or you connect with him somehow. He can open the door, right? He has the key to something. He can provide a key to something you may have not figured out. It says here solutions, and the compromise can also here come with the idea that you have been struggling with something about forgiving or healing here. And you realize maybe I should, you know, like figure out some like really top counselor here, or I decide to trust in something, even though I have never done that before. I decide to, because I'm not quite sure how else to find a solution here to something. And that can also be this idea that, you know, like when a child can't figure out something, they would go to their parents or a grandparent or someone they trust, right? And say, I've gotten myself into this mess, can you help me, right? Because they are older and wiser and they know more about life and so on, they usually find something that can fix it, right? And that can also be what this is, right? That this one represents someone who can fix stuff. Again, he holds something tangible here, right? So he can fix something. And because he is an emperor, he knows something. He knows something about business and money and finances, maybe. He knows something about, again, there was this card of contract, right? And the contract can tell us many things, but it could be a work contract. It could be, you know, like a family contract. Maybe it's an inheritance. Maybe it's, you know, something that kind of, it seems like we have signed up for this. Some people in the spiritual realm talk about the idea that before we incarnate here as souls, we agree to a certain path. We agree to the traumas we get or the traumas we experience. We agree to certain healing. We agree to the people we meet. That everything is almost planned up front. Then we incarnate and our memory is wiped and we don't remember anything. And then we experience all this stuff. And somewhere along that path is this contract here. That you have at some point, you have agreed to something here. You have agreed to work with this energy here. Perhaps to become a vessel through which something can channel. or to explore the flow state, the idea that I'm not anxious about my money, right? I trust that it's going to just be, or my financial security, my survival, you know, all these maintenance, self-perseverance, maintenance things in life, that it's taken care of. I don't have to think about it. The worries, the 10 of swords there, right? All the worries and anxiety and fears about this and that and all the stuff that could go wrong, that you can relax. That he is here and he will take care of you, right? That he will take care of you. But it means that we have to overcome these, like a lack mentality or poverty consciousness or scarcity mindset, all these things that we have been growing up with, the things we have learned, the things that we have been taught. We have even to succumb our own amygdala, right? The thing that pops up every time we feel some kind of threat to our comfort or our like survival or something. If we feel pain in the body, if we feel that we are somehow unsaved, that we are somehow unsafe, then we can lose the faith, right? We can lose the faith in, and I feel like very much with this Virgo card here, or the problem where this card was almost destroyed from the Virgo reading, was the loss of faith. It was the loss of faith, that life was dangerous, right? That being here was very, very dangerous. And to overcome something like that and actually start trusting in something again is tremendous healing, right? And I think that the point is that whatever happened for you, Sagittarius, I feel like you're part of a bigger, actually I feel like all the way back from the Aries reading all the way up to the Pisces reading I will be doing soon. Things may have happened in your life, but I would even like take it up to a bigger scale. This could talk about, I don't know, like well, if we take the history of Earth, the history of Earth goes back billions of years to the so-called Big Bang. And if you take a look at my reading that is called the Aries reading, I talk about Kundalini. If you see the front picture of the current readings, we have this like a black ball somehow that kind of erupts into pieces, right? So if you look at those readings and you take all of them from that Kundalini Aries reading and forward, it's like there's an energy that kind of, it's almost like it shows the evolution of Earth. In astrology, we say that the Earth goes through astrological ages, and each age takes around 2,000 years. We have just astrologically, at least so there is a somewhat organized idea that Earth has entered the age of Aquarius, that we are just on the cusp of this. So another 2,000, a little more than 2,000 years from now on and forward, we will be in the age of Aquarius. So what does that mean? It means that Earth goes through some kind of development that has to do with that particular spin. And it seems like at some point during a Virgo age, I had this faith card, like something busted in. You can look it up. I spilled my coffee all over the place. It destroyed a lot. So it could be almost like Earth got a hit from a big asteroid that almost destroyed the Earth, right? And the Libra and Scorpio is like this aftermath of what actually happened and how this shook everything up. And that memory, like a distant memory of some of this, is embedded in all of us. We all have a part memory of the Aries, the Taurus, the Gemini, the Cancer, the Leo, the Virgo, the Libra, the Scorpio, Sagittarius, right? Capricorn, Aquarius, and Pisces. We all have part of that, some more of this and some more of the other, but we have something that sticks more out than the other. For you, Sagittarius, and it makes very much sense to me that you're the last fire sign. Of course, you would be working with this one. Because the other fire signs, they go more with self, right? The Aries is more self-oriented. And they look at something and they want it and they go for it, and quite impulsive. The Leo fire energy, and we have a Leo here on the scene, right? But the Leo energy is a little more mature than Aries. They have learned that sometimes maybe they shouldn't be that impulsive, but they still want to peak, right? They want to reach the top. And sometimes, by all means, no matter what it requires, they want to reach the top. They have to be on the top, in the spotlight, right? It's the sun card in tarot. Like they have to have this awareness. They have to create a name for themselves. They must come in the history books, you know. They have to be that big somehow. And you, Sagittarius, you are the last fire sign, also the eldest. We could say that you are the wisest. The wisest can even come to the point where status and fame and money and a lot of followers also requires a lot of responsibility. And what about other things in your life, right? What about, like, keep maintaining that iconic way of living and being and looking and everything is demanding. So what about the caring connections? Do we sometimes neglect that because we are looking for the fame, right? So like, if I wanted to be this one, am I prepared to put everything else aside? To do that? Or, so you could say the wisest fire energy definitely is looking at how to invest my fire, right? Where do I want to invest it? What is a good choice for me? Because I'm not an Aries, I'm not a Leo, right? Not anymore. I've grown. I've tried that. So when it all boils down to it, what is it really that I want? And this is where we can find the truth teller of the Sagittarius, right? Where we can find the philosopher. Because now he starts thinking about other stuff. And does the money always give you that? Does the money always saturate your hunger? Or maybe not hunger, but saturate you? Is it what you actually want, right? So this can also be what this is, that the Emperor is the highest ranking. You decide if this is about yourself here. I would say, first of all, it's about taking leadership in your own life, but also, you know, like if you are the one sitting here in your own life, what should it look like? What should be here, right? What kind of empire do you want? And be proud of, like literally being proud of it, that when you know that now I'm entering out of this world, I have done what I could, right? I have created what I could here. And I've looked from a philosophical point of view. I have looked with all my wisdom, all I have learned. Not afraid to tell the truth or to dig in and find it. I'm creating an empire, my empire here. And so what do I want it there to be in it? Who am I in that empire? How do I want people to see me? If I'm my own emperor here, can I trust myself as that emperor? You know, so there's an inner exploration about where the Leo and the Aries, they would definitely explore outside of themselves, right? They would look for the money out there. They would look for the followers, the friends, the people that look at them, that give them attention. This is like an inverted attention, that you kind of go inward. I even want to say it's almost like you like with all this sense of flow state and opening yourself up and accessing infinite information by going within meditation and like going on this internal exploration. It says here, when we stop looking outside ourselves and surrender to a soft inner focus, a flow, soft inner focus, we have access to unlimited information and resources, right? When we stop thinking with the glass ceiling of our intellect, we have access to multidimensional wisdom from the collective consciousness. Have you ever felt in total flow? Perhaps when speaking about something profound that you have total faith in, you have heard your words articulately unfold. At other times, when you have doubt, you must watch your words and they come out disjointed, only hinting at what you are trying to say. In my journey as an artist, I found I was able to paint more skillfully than I imagined when I stopped thinking or tightly controlled my images into being. This was especially so when I was starting out. By getting out of my own way, I could get into a flow that felt like something else was guiding my paintbrush. Yeah, I feel, yeah, that's what I feel, like something else was guiding my paintbrush. This is known as flow state, and it says to be the optimal state of higher function. I do feel like whatever corporation you're somehow now agreeing to here, it's like, again, this is where I feel like the ego is put down, that or is put to rest. It's this not controlling it, not looking for a specific outcome, accepting exactly what is. And if you are in a creative process, that you do something that is creative somehow, that you trust in what you are doing, what you're painting, writing, saying, or singing or something. You trust that. And you're not trying, like to enhance it by controlling your words or like movements, your paint movements or something, that you're letting it just trust, that you let it kind of just flow from you. But it's almost like, and it also said channeling here, like it's almost like becoming a vessel for something else to kind of speak through you or express through you, right? Whether you become the painter of something, or automatic writing, or you are a poet, or you become a dancer or a singer or a music maker or lyric maker, a writer, something. It all boils down to whether you trust doing it, whether you actually do this. Like the 3 indicates that you are, again, I don't know, like it says objective compromise, but it's like the compromise comes from a stronger and stronger feeling that this is right. But because I feel, and I still feel like there has been some kind of hit at some point to your heart here, because of that kind of explosion that or fragmenting that may have happened once, to get back to that kind of wholeness again, has taken you through some kind of journey to heal here. And definitely through a journey of needing to learn to trust again. So the 3 of Pentacles here, the corporation card, must be an inner willingness. Not forced, not out of despair. Like begging for mercy or something. It's not like that. It's like it's a conscious willingness. It's almost like you remember that you somehow have this contract, or you remember that or now it makes all sense, right? It makes all sense now that I have been all through like this stuff in my life, because I'm supposed to come back to the light, or I'm supposed to come back to my light, my own guidance, my own feeling of connection, that I'm supposed to, I lost it all, right? And then I'm supposed to come back to it. That's what I have learned. Fire energy is very much about willpower. We are given free will here on Earth, right? And the Aries energy definitely uses it. Leo energy definitely uses it. And here we now stand in the Sagittarius energy. And Sagittarius, you can use your fire, your own will, to go in a direction. But it's almost like you're asked not to. That you're asked to surrender that will and trust in something more. Right? You're not supposed to run that fast. You're not supposed to climb that mountain all the time. That you can trust in something else that will guide you or come through you somehow. It's not supposed to be that hard. But you know, like, that's what I feel like the Emperor here is kind of again, and this one, you cannot beat this one. Like, if you're up against God, right, that's, well, you can try, of course. But if you're up against God, it's like, is it really worth it, right? Is it worth it to fight something that is so bright? And it actually wants to take care of me here and sees me. Right? It sees me and wants to take care of me. Why would I fight that? Like, it would provide here. But why should I fight that? Well, our ego would fight it. Because we are programmed to fear everything, right? So just trusting and put down all our weapons or defenses is not natural. Right? But it's almost like coming to the last fire sign is challenging you to not fight, I want to say. To not fight. To trust that whatever life kind of gives you, whether or not you know it, it's like it's been there. It's almost like a divine contract somehow. And you can put your guard up, you know, and become anxious and afraid and everything, because that's the normal human response. But it's almost like something, almost like a whisper in your ear, right? That kind of just says, trust me, just trust me. Let go, surrender. I have your back here, right? I have your back here. So the compromise that you are kind of asked to do or to trust in is be open and cooperative with this energy here, and that is only possible when you have kind of gone through, I want to say, like a healing process. Like you have really faced the stuff that once really like hurt you, was a deep hit here. And as I said, that hit is all the way back to the Virgo reading. But the interesting part with Virgo energy is that Virgo energy is about the highest octave. Virgo is very concentrated about the highest octave, the best health, the best possible outcome, being the perfect worker, being the perfect spouse, being the perfect mother, being there's a lot of perfectionism and high expectations, a lot of orderliness and many thoughts about whether what you're doing or not is actually good or bad. I would say, I'm not sure all Virgos are aware, consciously aware, that some of their actions may not be the highest good. They may think that it is, but it may not always be. But because they have a certain idea of what the best is, they will always operate from that. And if we look about love here and positivity and if romantic relationship, the highest octave of this is unconditional love, which we don't have here on Earth. This is extremely rare to find. Unconditional love means you love everything, about everything. Or you love everything about a person, no matter what they're doing. You're accepting everything about them. Without any judgment, without any kind of consequence. You love everything about them. Not many people can actually say that they do. We do it until they do something that threatens the relationship or my comfort or my safety or something, right? Then we don't. Then we second guess the love here, right? But that's what I want to say, that if we somehow hold this wish, all of us, to have unconditional love, and this got very, very broken once, it's difficult to just get it back, to trust in someone here just because they show up, right? Yeah, okay, great. I definitely I want to work with you, but I have my heart broken, but I want to work with you. No, not necessarily, right? We that takes kind of an inner journey to figure out whether we want that. Sometimes we would say yes to someone coming in here if we are in a very vulnerable state. If we are hurt badly and someone comes in and say, I will take care of you here. I can offer you everything. We would just say yes. But this, I feel like it's not like that. It's not like you're begging for your life. It's not like that. It's more like a well thought through recognition that I want to devote myself to something. I want to work with this. I want to be part of this. I want to be available. And it's a well thought through idea that you wanna try this, right? You wanna give this a go. And it is an internal thing. This cannot be found outside of yourself, and that's what makes it so interesting, because other fire signs, they would go for the things outside, the fame of the things outside, right? The status they can get from acquiring and doing stuff outside of themselves. This is internally, very meditative, very an internal exploration of, you could say, your power, your internal power. And you're using your will for this, right? You allow this. It's a decision. You use your free will to do this. Where you could do anything else. You could go biking or hiking or something, but you do this instead. And that is a free choice. You use your free will to do this, or say yes to this journey. I want to say it feels a bit like a journey. You're embarking on something that is new and different. So I said I had this card, internal exploration here. And you use your free will to do this. At the bottom of the deck for this, I get gracious receptivity. This is interesting because receptivity is a feminine trait. Being like open and able to receive something. Again, I have this idea that someone is here, something is here, an energy is here that wants to provide. But do you allow it to provide? Here there is a choice again, right? Can you somehow work with an energy that wants to come in and provide for you? And the only thing you need to do is to flow. You are on a journey of learning how to receive something. The flow state is very feminine. It's non-defensive, it's relaxed, it's passive, it's soft, gentle, right? So there's something about being able to receive something. Most of us, we would say, of course I can receive, right? But actually receiving and being being grateful that something cares and takes care of me, right? That something is there to take care of me. And allowing that. Putting down that armor. Again, your mind, the Ten of Swords is about being thrown to the ground, totally thrown to the ground, laying there to die. Being absolutely exhausted. Nobody is there to help you. You are all on your own. You are alone. You are abandoned. You're rejected, and you're very vulnerable. That's the Ten of Swords. But the 10 also indicates that that state is over, right? That state of being alone and needing to take care of everything yourself, and also thinking that there's nobody there to help you. That is over. Yeah, now I remember it was the World card. The World card flew out. The World card is also during the pre-shuffle. The World card talks about the end of something. That's something has come full cycle. That you no longer need to live in that consciousness, that understanding of the world. You just need to flow. I myself have found this extremely difficult. Like this has been very difficult for me to lean into the fact that I don't have to be on guard, right? That I don't have to do something, take action. That I don't have to do that. That sometimes I just have to trust that it's fine. No matter what comes is fine. It's part of my contract for this lifetime to get from A to B, and there is this, you could say, there are these speed bumps, right? And one of them is this forgiving and healing energy that you have been working your way through here. And we see him actually, he's walking in this terrain that is, well, there are flowers here, but not much sun. There has not been much guidance here. It may have seemed a bit dark-ish to get through this valley here. But we see how the shine is like slowly but surely coming through here, like the dawn, right? That the sun is almost shining through these darker clouds. And that's what I feel like the beginning of working with this energy here. When you allow for this to happen, it's like the shine starts to come and guide you where you're supposed to go, right? I don't think it's easy for fire signs necessarily, this idea about laying down their will. I'm not saying you should do this. I'm saying there is an energy here about this. You have free will. I just feel like it's like there is a contract here. So this will come around again, I feel like. It will come around again. It can be, if we're not talking about God here, of course, it could be some kind of work you have, and a work situation with a boss here. I want to say, and it seems like taking a job here or accepting that they are that you are maybe receiving some kind of offer here. Some kind of offer, and working with them could be a good compromise or a good way of trusting, learning to trust again, that you are taken care of, that you are, it could be a position where, let's say, you are not in charge. You don't have leadership role. You're not in charge. Someone else is in charge here, perhaps, right? And they will take care of stuff, right? So you just accept the things that come. Trust that it will be a good solution. Somehow I feel like I missed something here. What am I missing? It's like there is something that Can I get one more card on this Emperor, please? So I get the Seven of Raphael here. Seven of Raphael. And it says here, time to make a decision. Be clear on what you want and take action. A need for detoxification. So again, I feel like there is an idea of what kind of life do you want, right? Do you want someone to be there and take care of you? Do you trust in the offer that comes from this one? The Emperor is asking you to flow. Just trust the flow state. But you need to make that decision if you trust it. Be clear on what you want, so your intentions should be clear. I want to say also, of course, make the intention that you are safe in whatever you are embarking on, that you are safe, of course, that you are protected. And then you take the action, then you say yes, right? You say yes to it. And if this is a decision that has to do with God or Jesus, or like a path that kind of leads you somewhere else that you haven't been before, like a different job, right? A different place that you are working or serving something of a higher value. Again, the Virgo energy, we talk about, I said unconditional love, but it could be the values that link to something like that. What does that mean, right? And if so, what kind of requirements do you want to change in your life then? What is the highest octave? It's like when I look at this card, it's like we see, I wouldn't say it's like an altar, but I see it a little bit like that you can do different work here. It has different colors. This could represent like the chakras, right? That so maybe you have done healing work and chakra, but then there's this other stairway, right? That kind of takes you another step up here. There's even a bridge of here that kind of, you can bridge maybe realms or something. It's like there's even more to be explored, I feel like. There's more to be explored if you allow it, right? Because the Seven of I would say Seven of Cups here would usually be a card that says that we can fall in love with, or there can be many temptations that kind of gets us hooked in a certain way of living our life. If you have been on a healing journey for a long time, maybe you have been quite hooked on the idea of like unblocking chakras or doing some kind of spiritual work, rituals or something, and this has been your go-to, right? This has been what you have done and you have leaned into here, right? I want to say it's like there's more, right? That all the stuff that you have done here is great, and you have come very far, I think. And again, I feel like it's almost like a ritual altar or something like that. That this has been your go-to method somehow to kind of get yourself cleansed or something. detoxed in some way. But there's more, right? There's still more to be done. But because this has been effective, or you somehow trust in it, or you feel comfortable there, we can get lost there. Like we can stop the journey there. We can choose to stay there. And if you stay there, it means that you accept that your chakras are still blocked somehow. That you still need to do something here. That you're not done. In that case, it means that you stay in a situation where things are not done yet. If you choose to do that, I would say it's because you're not quite ready for this. You're not quite ready to fully say yes to this. But it's like the door is open, like it is here. You can choose it. But then you need to let this idea go that you are not done, right? That you are... or that you're not worthy, or you're not good enough, or you don't have what it takes, or you are afraid or fearful or something. If you are still in that zone, you probably won't take this invitation here. I just feel like it's here, like the door is here. You can start walking up that. I think you have done enough here. You don't need to do anything more. But you know what I mean. That's why the seven is like this temptation, like it invites. Again, it invites us to have our focus on something, but I just don't think that it's... I feel like it's old or older. Like it in the past somehow. It's like whatever you have done here, I feel like it's... I wouldn't say obsolete, but you don't have to do this anymore. Like you can walk by this and go further. But in order for you to do that, you need to let this down, like erase it, right? Erase that idea. Again, as I said, how do we override our amygdala? How do we, if we have experienced extreme heartbreak at some point, how do you kind of take that memory and kind of put it in the dustbin? It's like, it's not really that erased, is it? It still is there somehow, right? And so how do we... how do we overcome that? We have to trust in something that is out of our control. So I feel like it's also a card where I would say it could be a good thing to put in new seeds, right? Again, this corporation here would be a new seed, that you put in a new seed of trust and availability and receptivity, right? That you kind of, you say it out loud, you write it down, you show it, I don't know, that yes, I'm here, I'm available, I will now flow. Right? And I will trust in what comes to me, what information I get, or if I sit and draw, which I love to do perhaps, then you just kind of let it be, right? You just let it come out without being controlling about it. So it could be like time to put in new seeds, right? Just and it's almost like as he stands with just one coin here, like just put one seed in, just right, just put one seed in, like it takes just a little effort, just a little action, right? Then it will open. That's what I feel like. It's not supposed to be that difficult. Or you can lay down, you know, like the control mechanisms and something like that. Just go with it. See what happens, right? So this is what I have, Sagittarius, for you. I hope this, I don't know, clarified something. If you have kind of felt this whisper in your ear, I don't know if there is any other better explanation of the flow state, because I think it's quite all right. Children are very good at this, actually. Children can be in the flow state. They are. So if you don't know exactly what that is, if you have a child that sits and draws for hours, you can just watch them. Just like, it's like they are in their own little world. As says here, when in deep flow state, it can seem as if something else is guiding me. Perhaps it's my higher self. People often ask whether I have a strong concept of what I will paint before I start. I do have a half-formed idea, but the state I find myself in when I paint allows the rest of the image to form itself. I don't try to control it too much. When I allow myself to really go there and listen to the whispers that guide the journey, it gives more soul to my pieces. These are the creations that people most resonate with, the ones that prompt a mysterious sense of remembering. I did say that, didn't I? It's like we all have a memory of something. And when we hear something, someone speaks something to us, or we read something, or we hear some kind of music that just deeply touches our heart, when it resonates with some kind of memory, that's when people resonate, right? That's when you resonate with something. And therefore this whisper that is calling you, this maybe a longing, even like the longing for this, it could be the feeling that it becomes more and more clear that this has been the plan from the get-go, right? Yeah. It says here you are invited to explore the state of flow. This card is also, this card here, this card is also a reminder that you are an infinitely amazing being who can access collective consciousness, especially when you surrender some control to the greater process and get out of your own way. You have the permission you felt you needed. So go within and explore. Wonderful gifts are waiting for you. So I feel like I can't really go that deeper, I think, into this, and now the reading is almost 1.5 hours still. So I'm going to stop now here and just let it be up to you, Sagittarius. It's like the invitation is definitely here. As long as you see yourself as whole enough, that you're whole enough now that you're whole enough now to take the new steps here, right? You may not need to be perfect, you know, like perfectly perfect, But you're whole enough now to take the new steps. That's what I want to say. And explore this inner thing, right? But you need to look at your will. Will you do this? Or will you not do this? Because if you're not prepared, well, it just means that you probably need to work a little more on your ego. You need to work a little more on your surrender mechanisms. And you will have a new shot at this. Like the moons and sun and everything moves the year around. You will have a new go at this. Right? So that's what I feel like. Take very good care of yourself out there, Sagittarius. I send you my very best. Love and light to you. Bye-bye.